We are all aware that terrible creatures lurk beneath the waves. Sharks, squids, and even salmon can appear menacing when they spawn. People seek out this bizarre species for food and recreation. However, what about the catches that were not intended to occur? Because it's the scary season, we'll examine some of the strangest and scariest items discovered while fishing. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be looking at what the fisherman captures that no one was supposed to see. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. A fish and a snake. Imagine the scene. You're sitting by the river, minding your business, when your line suddenly becomes taut. You begin to reel in what appears to be a sizable catfish when the line becomes heavy, and the fish goes insane. As your catch surfaces, you wonder if you're not the only one pursuing it. Sounds fishy, doesn't it? Tell that to the Houston man who caught the Chanel catfish being consumed by a snake. In this example, the video explains the whole story, notably the confused expression on the poor angler's face. What does one even do in such a circumstance? The fish and the snake were successfully released back into the wild to fight another day. It's not uncommon for a fish to fall victim to another predator. Many anglers have experienced the agony of having their prize catch bitten in half by a shark. Killer whales, dolphins, and sea lions are all known to steal fish off anglers' hooks, but a snake? That's the first and a terrifying way to retrieve your lure. Mutant fish. Here's a classic. Every angler is acquainted with a friend of a friend whose uncle's cousin once caught some bizarre mutant fish. In 99% of instances, it is a really tall tail, a fisherman's tale that has likely been repeated and modified by hundreds of individuals. But what if it was accurate? From time to time, it is. The ocean is teeming with unusual creatures, from two-bone lobsters to bright blue lingcod. Yes, the flesh is also blue. Some fishermen have even encountered a once-in-a-lifetime catch, such as the albino marlin. This is essentially the unicorn of the sea. There are more than unicorns in the world. The cyclops roam the water as well. It did until it was captured by a charter boat in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Everyone initially believed this one-eyed albino shark to be a hoax. However, the National Center for Ocean Sciences confirmed that it was a mutant. Stranger things have indeed occurred at sea. Giant ancient antlers. Have you ever wondered where legendary monsters originated from? How did humankind conceive of such fantastical creatures? According to some academics, fossils likely served as their inspiration. Take a dinosaur bone and mammoth tusk. Add a few pterodactyl wings and you have a legendary beast. Imagine you're a fisherman lounging by a lake in Ireland when you discover a set of 6-inch wide antlers. What is your initial reaction? This is likely originated from an extinct species of moose. Of course not. You wonder, what horror have I awakened, and will it feed on my nightmares? The likely answer is yes. The beast has been identified as a 10,000-year-old gigantic elk thanks to a little local exposure and a few swift phone calls. We admit that the situation is not terribly frightening. Imagine reeling this in several centuries ago. How would people have responded, and what lake-dwelling creature would they have assumed it was? It may have easily inspired a folktale. Horrors from the deep. If there's one thing that we know about the ocean, it's that it contains many terrifying fish. The oceans are teeming with frightening creatures, from great white sharks to giant squid, and the oddest discoveries are frequently made on the ocean floor. They're always present, hiding in the shadows, and waiting for an unsuspecting angler to toss them some bait. Occasionally, one of these fish will reach the surface. Consider this oddball that a Norwegian fisherman had the misfortune of capturing. Several years ago, a 17-foot sea snake washed up on Catalina Island. There are also more common monsters, such as anglerfish, that professional fishing crews encounter frequently. And this leads us to a crucial point. You have likely consumed at least 2 sea monsters in your lifetime. How about a monkfish? How about a sea bass from Chile? If you encountered these individuals and they were intact, you would assume they were props from a horror film. In fact, even halibut appear repulsive when viewed face to face. Fish flying onto the boat. Okay, deep water fish have an odd appearance, but you're secure at the surface. Wrong. If anything, topwater fishing is much more terrifying. This time, the issue is not the fish's appearance, but their behavior. We're discussing fish that leap out of the water and directly at anglers attempting to catch them. Barracuda, a fish that appears just as vile as it is. It is one of the primary offenders here. They're notorious for devouring your catch as you attempt to get it aboard. Sometimes, however, they aim a little higher and throw themselves directly onto the boat. This can cause severe injury to any angler unfortunate enough to be in its path. Flying barracuda is not to your liking. How about a 600-pound black marlin crashing into the cockpit bill first? This occurred on board a charter boat in Cairns, Australia, a renowned city for its exceptional marlin fishing. No one was gravely injured this time, but not everyone is so fortunate. Skulls, bones, and yes, bodies. Let's be honest, we all anticipated that this would be on the list. Snakes and eyeballs are fine, but nothing says scary quite like a human skull. Unfortunately, we're not discussing the Halloween plastic decorations or novelty candles you may have purchased. No, we're talking about individuals discovering the genuine article at the end of the line. Our narrative begins in Sweden, the least dangerous nation imaginable. Two guys were fishing in the canal, hoping to catch a pike, perch, or maybe a pike perch instead. They were confronted with the unblinking stare of a human skull. They informed the police immediately, who removed the corpses and launched a murder inquiry. Did you find that deplorable? Just getting warmed up. Finding a body in the nets is a traditional sailor's tale that has recently come true at least once. The unfortunate Indonesian fisherman thought he had won his local fishing event, only to discover that his catch was not a fish. You must wonder if it's a coincidence or a curse at this point. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.